This is episode 226 of the Super League Pod, where Mark can't remember a beer that he drank a week ago, and Alan turns from a secret Cass fan into a secret Saints fan. We go deeper than expected into the news. Thanks Hull KR for having a busy Monday in that regard. We've got all your fan feedback on another shock week of Super League results, other results, and we look ahead to the rep round and more. This is episode 226 of your favourite rugby league podcast. Strap yourselves in, kids. It's SLP time. Hello, listeners. It's episode 226. I got that right this time, Alan.
Hey.
226 of the Super League Pod. I'm Mark, your regular host and Wigan fan, and I am back from my week off, thanks to Tim and Sarah for ably filling in, wonderfully recapping the State of Origin game in particular. I thought they did a great job of, and it's and I'm joined by you, Alan, which feels like only 2 weeks ago that we were in this same position.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, how that's worked out. Yeah, it feels like we're in a tag team contest or something with the podcast at the moment. But yeah,
it's just,
how are you?
I think it's just how it's worked out with availability and stuff, hasn't it? Really, but that's the way it goes. Before we catch up and find out where I was last week, shall we talk about who's sponsoring this episode? Do you want to take us through the sponsor for episode 226?
Yeah, so this episode is sponsored by Sarah's Bookcase. Sarah sells Usborne books, and with access to over 3,000 titles from baby to teenagers, there's something for everyone. She also works with schools, so please get in touch to find out how you can get free books for your local school. Find out more at facebook.com/Sarah's Bookcase.
And if I'm not mistaken, Sarah's Bookcase has been running some competitions this week, giving away free books. So go back and check out if they're still running at that facebook.com/Sarah's Bookcase. Excellent. So what we've got coming up then, we've got a bit of a mixed bag of news. There was a good chunk of news, some good, some bad, some indifferent, and then like today was Hull KR News Day, and I just thought, oh my god, Tom Andrews can't send in comments about the news stories, and they're all about his team, because obviously we have to shut down bringing views in between after a certain time on Sunday when we put the show together. So then we go to our day jobs on a Monday and then reconvene with the rundown in front of us. So we've had to hastily add in a line to say, go and look at where the Hull KR news stories are and read those out, and because they've been doing a bit of loan business. So we've got that in the news. We've got an upset-filled round of Super League to recap. Fan views in on 5 of the 6 games. I don't think anyone will be shocked to find out which game we didn't get any on, but let's not give it away. And a preview of some rep games down under as well as State of Origin next weekend to talk about. We've also got some internationals as well to talk about, so we'll get to that in the preview section later on. I was off last week, and we went to Pisa and Florence. It was Emma, my wife. It was her birthday last week, so we went away.
We should say happy birthday. I know it's a bit late, but
happy birthday and happy belated Father's Day as well to all the dads and dad-like figures out there. We're only a few minutes in, so Emma probably will listen to this bit. Maybe sometimes she listens to the start. So she'll hear your birthday well wishes, Alan, so thanks for that. Yeah, we went to Pisa and Florence, so I've never been to Italy before, but I'm a big fan of all things cured meats, so so that was good. Good to have some cured meats and pizzas and things like that. We had one day in Pisa because, let's face it, not much to see. Some tower that leans and pretty
it's got
much
some shoddy foundations, yeah.
Well, reinforced. It's probably got some of the most impressive foundations of most places
now.
in the country now. But yeah, so we Pisa one
just
day.
Just for the right degree of lean, yeah.
It was actually really good. We went in the daytime took some pictures, but like went back later on after we'd had a few beers and stuff, and went back when it was a lot emptier, because Pisa, with it not having a lot of things to do, isn't somewhere where a lot of tourists stay. It's somewhere where a lot of tourists go, but it's not somewhere where a lot of tourists stay. So come night time, there was a few people milling around, but it wasn't super touristy at like say 9:30 or so. So we went and took a few more pictures then, and then we went to this rooftop bar where you could sort of see over the tower on this hotel, where you could see over the tower and the cathedral and that sort of stuff. So we got some nice pictures from up there, and then on our way back to our hotel, crossing the main sort of the main bridge in the middle of Pisa, we were confronted by a huge amount of people, and we're like, what on earth is going on? And then there was like car horns beeping, people singing, people waving flags, people lighting flares, and it turns out that Pisa's local football team had won promotion that night from effectively League One to the Championship, let's say.
So like Serie C to Serie B or something like that.
Yeah, so they've won promotion, and loads of the fans were out obviously celebrating, and the team were up on a balcony on what must be like a town hall type building or something. But they were up on this balcony that looked like it was ready to collapse at any point, and and loads of fans were all on the bridge and around the squares at either side of the bridge and stuff. It was really cool, and it wasn't a hostile atmosphere at all that Emma was worried about it being when we first saw it. Once we realised it was a celebration and a party, it was great. So I took a couple of videos and stuff, and chatted to some of the people and congratulated them on the promotion, and then we moved on to go back to our hotel, and we spent 2 days in Florence. And Florence has got lots of stuff to see if you really, really like Renaissance art.
Yeah. Well, we said this after the last podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
After the microphone was off, kind of talking about stuff to do, and we talked about the fact that my recommendations are way out of date. Other than don't try and change in Milan, because that will definitely go wrong on the plane.
Yeah, the train was a dream. The train was fantastic.
Yeah.
On time, fast, comfortable, cheap. Amazing what state-led transport.
I'm going to say
I assume
everything else
isn't actually in Italy. I don't know for a fact that it is, so you never know. But anyway, it was good. That was good. And Florence again, unless you like going in those art galleries, and really the only art galleries we like going in usually are kind of more modern art stuff, more contemporary art. Is what we enjoy. So we didn't really go in. Well, we didn't go in any of the museums or anything. We went in a couple of the old buildings, town hall, cathedral, that sort of stuff like that. But we went up the dome of the cathedral, which is incredibly impressive. And then you got great views of the whole city because it's the tallest place. And then we went on a bus tour. But because if anyone's been to Florence, the streets in the middle are really narrow, and the fact that any cars go down them at all was blowing mine and Emma's mind. We really
I remember
they're
that.
not straight, they're not organised. I don't know how anyone finds the way around, but
it's still medieval, isn't it, in its kind of its layout?
Definitely so. Yeah, definitely so. Yeah. But but the bus like sightseeing tour kind of goes around the outside and up into the hills at either side. So got to get off a couple of times, have great views of the whole Florence area really, and that was really cool. And good food, good beer, good times.
Great stuff.
So Emma enjoyed her birthday. Yeah, what have you been up to since we last spoke 2 weeks ago?
Nothing that exciting. Really, really not. Not a lot really. I was saying before the podcast that obviously it was Father's Day yesterday, and I celebrated it by being primary carer for the day while Anna was out gallivanting. But yeah, no. Other than that, not really a lot to update at the moment.
Did you at least get a Father's Day present?
Oh yeah. Well, yes, that had been prepared beforehand, so I was presented with that, which was very nice. So yeah, that was lovely.
Excellent, yes. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was nice.
Right. Just before we get into the news, I'm just going to give a little update for people because we ran our big fan survey, which we ended at Magic Weekend, and it's been a while since I've updated people on that and what's happening with that. Now, I've put together all the results from that. There was can't remember now. 1,294 responses. I think
it was just short of 300, 1,300, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I've been through those. Some of the bits that were comments rather than just ticking a score out of 10. I've been through those, kind of collated themes on those, and put together a report. Now, originally I thought, do it, bang it out. But I want to try and make sure as many people as possible see the report, and not necessarily just people who listen to the podcast or who gave us their email addresses in answering the survey. So I'm going to try and get... I've got a couple of plans in motion to do that. So the full results will be revealed mid to late July, so in about a month's time. And in that time, I'll be trying to get the findings from the report in front of different people, at the top of the Super League and the RFL and some of the clubs. Now, the only club I've sent specific club data to so far is Wigan, because that's my club and I have details of people that I can send stuff to at that club. But the other clubs we got a high level of responses from, a significant amount of responses. If we're talking more than 10% of the total survey population level of responses, sort of thing, or around that, were Toronto Wolfpack, Hull Kingston Rovers, Hull FC, Leeds Rhinos. So I'm sure if there's people who support those clubs who've got an idea of an email address for someone senior at those clubs, get in touch. I can put together a report for those specific clubs if they're interested in that. Let us know. Get in touch, superleaguepod@gmail.com about that. But otherwise, in about a month's time, everything will be revealed. We'll then run our follow-on survey as well at that point, and every single person who gave us their email address on the survey will get an email with details of the follow-on surveys that are applied to them, and also a copy of the report. So that's what will happen there. We won't be hiding anything from anyone, and everyone will see what's gone on there. Right, so that's that update. News.
Yeah.
Move on to news.
Let's go. Right, so news from this week, and the big news coming out of Leeds is that their captain, Callum Watkins, is to leave the Super League club to join the NRL side, the Gold Coast Titans. The 28-year-old centre, who is in his 11th season at Headingley, had already revealed his plans to quit at the end of the season over a salary cap dispute, but having signed with the Titans, he'll now leave Leeds mid-season. He's due to leave on the 1st of July, which means he's available for just 2 more games at Saints and at home to Catalan.
Yeah, we had
a couple of people got in touch.
The traditional two,
traditional.
Because I was away, so I didn't really put anything out about send us your news views this week. So just the people who've got it saved in the favourites got in touch. Tom Andrews and Josh. So Tom Andrews says, Prime Watkins could have made it in the NRL. Post-injury Watkins will make a solid lifeguard on the Gold Coast beach. Very strange mid-season signing. You would think the Rhinos have someone lined up. And Josh says, leave one club at the bottom for another team at the bottom. I'm pleased he has gone to the NRL. With all the players in the past that have left on a high, I was gutted that Callum was going to be leaving on bad terms. But this makes things a little bit better. Yeah, so last time we were together, we talked about you can't write him off just because of the poor form that he's shown over the last 4 or 5 months since he's come back from his major injury that he suffered last year.
Yeah.
And before that he was going great guns. So I wish him nothing but the best, and I really hope that he can make it over there in the NRL. It might be, we've seen like a little bit of a weight lifted off in terms of his. One thing we questioned earlier on in the season is he a bit scared of getting hurt?
Yeah, a bit tentative. Yeah.
The last 2 weeks he's been throwing his body into tackles defensively like we've never ever seen Callum Watkins do before. So I think there's been a weight lifted there on that angle, and he's very much committed to the task at hand. If he could get some of his power and pace with the ball back, hopefully, then I'm sure he can be a weapon. He's not over the hill. Maybe if he'd have gone after the World Cup, we can say with some confidence that it would have been a success, whereas he's going to the Gold Coast now where no Um,